how am I going to allow myself to shine and express myself if I'm so sensitive to these energies that I'm around, but I don't have a language for that? It's like you
Yeah.
didn't know. You're like, I just know that I'm shy, but I don't understand why, and
Mhm.
but on the flip side, it brings creativity. It rules the Neptune energy. It rules uh, cameras, film, photography. So it also imbues you with like this beautiful love for the arts. When they founded Neptune, it's when they invented cameras. So anything that puts you in an altered state. So you're like, I'm this big boisterous energy as a Sag, this curious nature who wants to collect stories, but also I'm sensitive. Don't talk at me, talk with me. Let's just do this one on one. Let's not do like big groups right now, right? Because you get overexcited by all the energies, but your love of people and um, understanding about the human condition and wanting to put a positive spin on it, that speaks to all those dynamics. Because Sag is one of the most optimistic signs in the zodiac.
I would
Did
say
you
so.
know that?
I think so.
It is. Oh gosh, they love their freedom.
Yeah. Oh my God, that is the theme that comes up constantly with me with freedom. I'm always looking to be more free of
Yeah.
whatever is burdening me, or I feel like it's holding. If something's holding me back, or I feel like something's keeping me caged, I
Mm.
can only tolerate it for so long, and then it's like lash out because I don't want. I can't do this anymore. I can't be in this little box.
Yeah. No, not at all. Because with that being said, you have 4 planets in Sag. So that's a lot.
Oof.
You know, I look at, all the planets in our solar system, including the sun and the moon, and there's a total of 10 planets that I look at, and you have 4 of them, and that's in astrology is called a stellium. It's just a funny word of 3 or more planets in one sign. So it's like this concentrated energy. So that lets me know right off the bat this person really craves life experiences. It's like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to go do it. I want to experience it. Regardless of the shyness, you might do it by yourself or in your own time, but immersing yourselves in different cultures, traveling, and things like that. Do you agree? Is that something that you enjoy doing?
Yeah, I've always liked to travel to, well, so far it's mostly been the United States, but I've liked to go to other cities and see how people live there rather than just know what New York is, because New York is huge, but it's not the world. I mean, everybody thinks, you live in New York, you don't ever need to leave, but I always had
Yeah.
calling to go other places. And I have, my heart is in many places at this point because of all the people I've met in all those places. So it's like a little bit in Florida, a little bit in Atlanta, a little bit a lot in LA, and then Toronto even because I've been to Toronto. So my heart stays in those places, and then I'm always like, I want to move here, and then I go home and I'm like, we can't move everywhere, so you have to figure out where the
Yeah.
move is going to be. But that's also why I haven't moved yet because I want to move everywhere, so I have to figure out what is the place that you really want to go to, and where do you want to
All of
end?
them. That's the
All
answer.
of
All of them. So,
them.
like, so I have when I see that much Sagittarius energy, there is an element of freedom, but there's also like I'm a slut for life experiences. Like, and there's a part of you that knows you can't get it all done in one life and you can't get it wrong. Right. So there's this freedom of like, you know what? Just go ahead and do it. You know, words don't teach, life experiences do.
Mm.
And the the dynamic of being a Sag with that curious moon in Gemini, it really helps overpower some of that shyness. It really pushes you forward to try new things. And you were born with Jupiter on the sun. So you had two outer planets conjunct your sun, which is very significant in astrology because it's like being a Pisces in the skies with all this Sag energy. So like this energy of like the Pisces of Neptune that I mentioned earlier, and then Jupiter, which is the biggest planet in our solar system. And so it's conjunct your sun. So this is someone who loves culture, who go big or go home sometimes, right? It's like You have these huge ideas and these big feelings, but you also want to try to organize it in a way that, okay, how do I make this dream a reality? I'm feeling a lot of big things are happening. Um, there's a lot of being shown in your career house, so you just naturally can easily have luck with that kind of stuff. I mean, everything that you were saying about in 2015, I mean, those have sounded like amazing opportunities. You
Yeah.
know, with Jupiter in your career house, it's like, okay, well, do you ever feel lucky in that area?
I always said when people said, "Oh, how did you do this?" I said it just fell into my lap pretty much. And that was the thing about the shyness was I realized that the opportunities were coming. So if you're
Mhm.
going to be shy and stupid about it, you're going to miss the opportunity. So when the opportunity is given to you, you have to figure out a way to do it, or else you're not going to have what you want. And the thing is, the call to what I wanted was stronger than the fear of whatever
Yes.
it was. That really ended up being the lesson. Was like my fear is feels huge and like it's gonna crush me, but the call to what I really want to do end result, end game, was that I wanted to be in those places that I ended up being in. So it had to be where you either have to overcome it or you have to decide that you're going to walk away from it. And there wasn't a choice to walk away.
Yeah, absolutely. Now with Jupiter up there in the top of your chart in your 10th house, conjunct your sun, that's all funny little combinations that um, just mean like you have a jovial energy that is infectious, that is optimistic, that tends to see the silver lining, that loves culture, loves food, loves meeting new people. And oh, Jupiter is the planet of luck, right? So wherever it touches, it expands, known for the biggest planet in our solar system. So it can over exaggerate, so you do have to be careful of, like, over promising, over asserting yourself, because you can put yourself in a position of spreading yourself too thin and
Mm,
having burnout.
yeah. Well, that happens sometimes, and then I have to take a step back and rest. It's like when we do a convention, like we met and through the convention people, but when we would do a convention, sometimes I'd come back after the 3, 4 days, and I'd need another at least 24 hours away from people before I can go back and deal with even regular life because it was a lot. It's a lot of energy coming at you at the same time.
Yeah, and then when you have that Neptune energy, it's saying it's kind of like your chaperone saying, like, "You're gonna do big things, you're gonna have a lot of energy and a lot of opportunities, but you're going to have to slow down and check out once in a while." And Neptune says, "I'll go over here and stand next to your sun and give you a chance to slow down and decompress a little bit, so you're not overdoing it." So that is the part of your chart that really helps balance you.
Hmm.
Hmm.
That make it, I always do feel like there's two pulls. It's like you're going this way and you're going this way, but the stronger one usually is the outgoing one or the one that's going to lead to meeting different people.
Yeah, and you were also born with Saturn opposite your sun, so that just means it kind of anchors all that energy. So Saturn again is the disciplinary of the zodiac that we mentioned and rules our life lesson, but it's also um, associated with Capricorn. So every planet is ruled by a sign. So this is like a Capricorn energy that when it's opposite your sun, it gives you access to be a little bit more grounded, some earth energy, because Capricorn's an earth energy, and it helps manifest and it cares about public image. It's the part of you that says, "Whoa, I need to make sure I do something, but have a time limit."
Mhm.
You know? Because you have 4 planets in Sag that says, "I want my freedom. I don't like restriction." And then you have this opposition with Saturn that says, "No, no, no. We need to make sure we're doing stuff and then also making sure we're done at a certain time and creating boundaries where Neptune has a lack of boundaries and that's next to your sun." So it's really interesting to see that you have all this freedom and boundless energy in your chart, but this other signature that stands out with this other planet really anchoring that says, whoa, whoa, reel that back in. You ever feel the dichotomy of that?
Oh yeah, and sometimes I'm the voice of reason when things get like too lofty. You know, like if somebody brings you something,
Yeah.
people get excited about it. I'm usually the one that goes, wait a minute though, if we